Come by lifting the toes, just replacing the feet down.
Lift and roll the shoulders. Breathe in, turn the head to the left. Breathe out, turn the head to the right. Into the left. And out to the right. And come back to the centre. Lift and roll the shoulders, opening the gateways to the head. And then breathing in, raise the right arm up, stretch up. Turn the head to the left. Bring the head back to the centre. Circle the wrists one way. And then the other way. And if you want to explore your brain patterns, circle them in different ways. So I suggest starting with one hand first and then going in the opposite direction. I find this so difficult. And then just release back down again. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then raising the left arm, stretching up, turn the head to the right. Breathe in, bring the head back to the centre. And breathing out, lower the left arm. Lift and roll the shoulder. And then raise it again, circling the wrists one way, the other way, and then in opposite directions is optional. It just doesn't work, does it? And then just very gently release the hands back down again and lift and roll the shoulders. So this is in answer, Joss and I had a conversation about gait and balance. So this is very much for gait. So just let's just say left foot in front of the right, very comfortable. And just start by rocking forwards and backwards. And as you rock forwards, your back heel lifts. You might lift your foot off the floor, and you might not. And then you can start to lift your front foot and then your back foot back higher. Again, it's all within your own control. And then you start to think only about your front foot, so only about your left foot. Forget about your back foot, you're still making the same movements. And now reverse that so that you're only thinking about your back right foot and forgetting about the left foot, you're still making the same movements. You can bring your hands into it as well, if that helps you with your balance. And you'll notice that you're beginning to move, as far as your gait or your foot going onto the ground, you're beginning to balance the foot. And this is particularly for Joss, as we come to slow down. No, because I was going to say, this is part of a dance yoga teacher who does choreography, has been very much involved in Affinity Laval, which should be a very familiar name to you. So, conservatoire, is that right?
Yes.
Conservatoire, so just lift and roll the shoulders and come over to the other side. So it's exploring your right foot forward, and then coming forwards and backwards. It's exploring the fluidity of movement in a very simple way. So as we get older, and various injuries and things have happened to us, our balance isn't necessarily great. Mine definitely isn't. And this is an alternative way to begin to explore that. And then start to think about your back foot. You can really lift up if you want to. You can start to involve your hands if you want to. And then think only about your front foot. You might have a preference. You might not. And then just freestyle. And just notice that you're engaging your entire foot. This kind of shows up any unevenness. I definitely am not even on my feet. So then just come to stillness. Come back to the mat. A very familiar swaying from side to side. and then just come to slow it down, stillness, lift and roll the shoulders, and we come to a breathwork exercise. Breathing in, hands out and back. Breathing out, hands away, palms down, back and lower. You can bend your knees as you're moving. Hands out and back, away and back and lower. And again, out, back, down, back and lower. Out, back, down, back, lower. And then make this the last one. Out, back, and lower. Lift and roll the shoulders. So some half salutes to the sun. We'll bring the hands to the chest, the heart centre. Soften the knees, circle the arms up. Stretch up. Bring the palms back down through the centre to the shins. Half lift by pressing the shins down. Lengthen the spine. Breathe out, curl in. Breathe in, half lift. And stay here as you breathe out. Breathe in, press the feet down and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Hands up, stretch. And lower. Lift and roll the shoulders. Palms together again at the heart centre. Soften as you stretch up, palms together. Hands through the centre, hands onto the shins. Half lift, breathing out, soften in. Breathe in, half lift, and stay here as you breathe out. Soften the knees, press up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Stretch up and lower. Just lift to roll the shoulders. So Sue, on a proper salute to the sun, you might, where you want to modify. So, in answer to your not hot yoga, but just slightly more, hands together at the heart centre. Breathing in, hands up, stretch up, look up. Breathe out. Lower, hands go down to the floor. Step back with your right foot, stretch it. Bring the right knee to the ground and slide your left foot back. You're in tabletop. Breathing in, dipping half lift in your cat-cow movement. Breathing out, round back. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, round the back, tuck your toes, otherwise carry on cat-cow, coming to downward dog, lengthening the back, then stretching the feet, walk the dog by bending one knee and then the other, and feel that you can bring your feet wider to the mat, and that you can also bring your feet slightly closer to your hands. Stretch both feet back. And then lower both knees back down to the ground. Just turn to look over your right shoulder. Come back to the centre, your hips may move as well, and turn to look over your left shoulder. And then come back to the centre. Hands to the left, right foot slides up. Hands to either side of the right foot, tuck the left toes under. Tummy engages, perineum engages up slightly. Lift the back left knee and step the left foot to the right foot, hands on the shins, half lift. Breathing out, bending. Half lift. And stay here as you breathe out. Breathing in, press the feet down, rolling up vertebra by vertebra, standing. Raising the arms up, almost going to back bend. And then just circle the wrists down. Hands together at the heart centre as we come to the left side. Soften the knees, hands up, stretch up. Palms together, come through the centre. Bend the knees to come to bring your hands to the floor. Step the left foot, slide the left foot back. Stay high for a nanosecond. Then lower the left knee. Slide the right leg back, you're in tabletop. Dipping the back, half lift. Breathing out, round back. Again, breathing in. Half, dipping the back, looking up, all on the mat. Breathing out, rounding, tucking the toes, tummy in. Come to your dog, or carry on, cat-cow. Walk the dog by walking, bending one knee and then the other. And then bend both knees, extend both knees. Bend both knees back down to the mat. And then hands to the right, left foot comes up. Hands to either side of the left foot. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knees, step the right foot to the left, and then hands onto the shins, half lift. Hello? Turn in, and then half lift again. Stay here as you breathe out. And rolling up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Are you too hot? Do you want windows open? You want heating off?
No, I'm good.
Go on. Hands up. Circle the arms down. Lift and roll the shoulders. Step with your feet out to a comfortable hip width. Turn the left foot in and the right foot out. If you were to draw a line, there should be a straight line between from the front heel intersecting the midway of the back arch, and do as I say. The back foot shouldn't be in, it should be turned out, and if that's not achievable, then bring your feet slightly closer together and turn your foot in more. It's just an awareness. Bring your hands out, bring your left palm to your right palm, turn to look at your thumbs, slide as if you're drawing a bow, the left elbow back, keep the left hand at the chest. As you breathe in, look upwards to the ceiling, eyes up, and then open the arms wide. Left palm to right palm. Draw your bow, the left elbow is high. Breathing in, raise the right arm upwards and open out. And again, left palm to right. Draw your bow. Right palm goes up and then out. Lower the hands. Come to bring your right foot in, so you're facing the mat. And then turn your left foot in and your right foot out, so you reverse our movement. Come to your arms out. You can soften your front knee if you need to. And then bring your right palm to your left. Draw your bow with your right elbow. Left arm up, looking up. Open the arms. Sit. Right palm to left palm. Draw your bow with the right arm. Breathing in, left arm up, looking at your left thumb. And out. Now I've lost it because I lost count. But last time, right hand to left. Draw your bow. Left hand up. Open the arms. Drop the arms, bring the toes in. And then just slide your hands down your shins, coming into a forward bend. If you want to put your hands on the floor, that's fine too. Just lengthen, almost lead with your chest to look forward and then just release back down again.
tummy in. You can always bend your knees. And then wherever you are, heel toe your feet in, so heels in, toes in, until you feel that you're on a comfortable base. Then bend your knees, press your feet down, and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing.
And then come to a comfortable hip width apart with your feet. And we come into this Tai Chi movement of flying, which moves your joints, which I think is very relevant on such a miserable, wet day. You only move your arms as little or as much as you would like. And then just lower the hands. And step your right foot across your left. This is a slight balance. Raise your arms and hold your right wrist with your left hand and go over to the left. Hopefully that should feel good to you. I had to think there for a moment. And then just coming up again, you can go slightly to the other side. Come to the centre and then lower the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders up, uncross your feet. And then we come to cross the left foot over the right. Raise the arms up. So I think it's right holding left wrist, is that right? Mm-hmm. And then over to the left. Chin in. Come upright. You can go slightly to the other side if you want to. Come to the centre. Lower the hands and unravel your feet. And then just again lift and roll your shoulders. And then we're going to come to the mat. So hands together at heart centre. Come to line with your knees up, feet hip width apart in your own time. And palms are down on the floor. Just start by rolling the head to one side. Bring the head back to centre and just let it move to the other side. So you're giving the weight of the head to the mat. And then as you do that again, start to let your knees drift to one side. Your hip will lift off the ground. Come back to the centre with the knees. I don't mind which way the head moves with or against the direction of the knees. Just go with whatever feels right. And you might want to just widen your feet slightly, that's fine. Your knees will drop into the centre more. So we come to an aspect of somatic movement, which is a sensory feeling. Don't really think about it too much. It's meant to be very calming for the nervous system, to disconnect the mind from the whole process and the sensory aspect. And often the somatic movement and the sensory aspect of movement is fluid. Coming back to this idea of fluidity, and often mimics what you find in nature, spirals and oscillating, reflecting that movement shouldn't be static, and well, it shouldn't be stuttered, it should have a fluidity about it. Supposedly reflecting that we are, in large part, meant to be fluid ourselves. And then just come to the centre with the knees. Feel that you can move your feet back or make adjustments at any point. And we come to an aspect of fluid movement again, which is slightly odd. Bend, keeping the right leg where it is, bend the left knee into the chest. Hold the left leg underneath the left thigh. Just raise the left leg slightly to the ceiling, and then just shake it. It can be a little shake, it can be any shake. It creates a vibration which resonates with the whole body, so it creates energy flow. And as I said, there's no right or wrong way. It can be a little bit of shake, a big shake. You can take your hands away, you don't have to hold your leg if you feel comfortable to let it up. And again, on a day like this, it's quite nice to get the circulation moving quite quickly. And then just release the leg back down to the ground. Just sway your knees once more from side to side before we come to the right side. So keep your left leg comfortable on the floor. Bend your right knee into your chest. And then just drop your hands to support your right leg under the right thigh. Raise the right leg and start to shake, either supporting the leg underneath, or if you don't need that support, then just place your hands, palms down on the floor. And just very gently lower the right leg to the floor and just sway the knees once more from side to side. So we mentioned lymphatic flow at the top. I was thinking, Natalie, talking about it before. So the lymphatic flow aspect is to keep your knees bent where they are. Raise your arms up above your head and just clasp your hands under your head, opening your elbows out like butterfly wings. If you're stiff or sore, that opening can be quite a strong stretch and be too much. So how you would alter that would be to bring the elbows upright so that they're almost together, and that limits the opening. So just wherever you're comfortable to hold your arms, either completely out, or as I said, if you need to modify that, bring the elbows in. Breathe out and flatten the back to the ground as you lift your head and neck up. You're coming to an abdominal core movement, tummy, perineum engages, and as you breathe out, just relax your head back down to the ground and open your elbows again, as to however much you want to open them. Just take it in and then out breath. And then again, as you breathe in and as you breathe out and lift your elbows up, you can choose to come up centrally, or you can, if your back's good, just slightly bring your elbows together and come over towards the left. And then just release back down to the ground. And take a recovery breath. And then this time you can either come up centrally again, or as you come up, breathing out, elbows slightly together and move over to the right. Your chin is naturally into your chest. You're stretching the back of the neck, come back centrally and just release back down. And then just sliding the hands out from underneath the head. Hands, palms down onto the ground as you just slightly move your knees from side to side. And then hug the left knee into the chest. And you can keep the right leg bent, but if you like a greater stretch, then extend your right leg along the floor. And this is a very gentle opening. You can increase this by rolling the whole body. You can use your elbows on the ground just to roll you to the right. Your left hip will lift. Hold your left thigh or your left knee with your right hand and place your left hand on your left waist. You can look up or look to the side. Keep left. Just take a couple of breaths in and out here. You can extend your right heel if you want to, and then relax it. And your left heel can be resting on your right leg. So you can use a bolster underneath your left knee to rest it. If you're going to be here for a long time, I'm not going to keep you here very long. Very, very gently roll onto the back. Hug the left knee into the chest. Hug the right knee into the chest. And just rock gently from side to side. And then keeping the right knee hugged into the chest, supporting the left leg, you place the left foot on the floor. And you've got the option to keep the left foot on the floor, knee up to the ceiling. Or if you want to go further, just extend the left leg along the floor. The right knee is still hugged in. As you roll over to the left, maybe use your right elbow to support that roll. Your right hand on the right waist, left hand somewhere on the outer right thigh. chin to chest, sorry Paula, and then just roll your head, eyes open or closed, slightly to the right. Breathing in, breathing out. So any kind of rotation like this is realigning the spine. But again, you control how little or much you want to move. And then just very gently rolling onto your backs. Bend both knees into the chest and just rock from side to side. So knees into the chest is opening at the lower back. It's creating space at the lower spine. And then a very familiar, hug both knees into the chest, still hold the knees and let both knees drift to arm's length. Hugging both knees into the chest. And just still hold them, let them drift away from you to arm's length. And just a few times to your own breath pattern. And then make the next time the last time. And support your thighs maybe by holding them to place one foot and then the other foot down onto the floor. Once more, come to just rock your knees from side to side. And then hug your left knee into the chest, open it to the left, and rest the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Palms once more down on the floor. And just rock both knees from side to side in the same direction. If you want to stretch out the outer left thigh, as an option, tummy in, you can lift the right leg off the floor and hold either underneath the right leg, that will be, you'll feel that a bit, or you can hold in front of the right knee. If you find that your chin has shot up to the ceiling, you've gone too far for you, and then just come back to holding under the thigh. You can extend the left heel to increase that stretch in the outer left hip. And you can lift the right knee up closer to your face, which will again increase the stretch. All optional. Just taking in and an out breath. And then just very gently place the right foot on the floor, hug the left knee into the chest. Put the left foot on the floor, knees from side to side. And then coming to the right side, hugging the right knee into the chest. Open the right knee to the right. Rest the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Palms down as you sway the knees from side to side. And then if you want to go further, optionally you can lift up your left foot and hold under your left thigh, opening the right hip. And if you want to be stretched a bit more, you can hold in front of your left knee, check that your chin isn't going up to the ceiling, come back to where it's comfortable. You can extend your right heel and lift your left knee towards your face. The more you lift the left knee towards you, the more that will stretch your outer right hip. It's a piriformis muscle that gets stretched. And when you're ready, just place the left foot back onto the floor. Support your right leg, hugging your right knee into the chest and left. And once more, just gently rock from side to side. And this time, keeping the knees together as a unit, start to circle both knees in the same direction, one way. And then circle both knees as one unit in the opposite direction. So this focuses the weight further down, really at the almost the base of the spine. It's just massaging around. Your circles can be small or they can be a little bit more. And then we're going to come to think about coming up to a seated position with the legs in front of us. So you can bring your feet down to the floor. Classically, you would roll to your right away from the heart, but come to a seating position with your legs out in front of you, this space, however that works for you. And just bounce the legs. Circulation again on the day like this, either cat or rub the legs. And then just come to take your seat, maybe take the flesh out from under your bottom. Just lengthen the body slightly by hands to either side of you. Breathing in, raise the hands up. Tummy in, bend the elbows to protect your lower back, and just slide your hands, lead with the chest, down the shins, come to just drop forward. If you've got long arms and can hold your big toes, that's fine. If you can hold the outer toes, that's fine. Or just wherever they are on the shins, that's fine. Forward fold. Calming for the nervous system. The chin is to the chest. And then think about coming out as you very gently slide the hands up the legs, bend the knees, and come to place the soles of the feet together. We've missed you, Sue, for your Baddha Konasana wisdom. So any points of the body you want to focus on, use your expert here. Any requests?
Any bad bits, your back. Well, your spine runs from the inside of your big toe all the way down to the heel. So, sorry, can you see? So it's just here, which down. So if you follow from your toe, and then there's the bone all the way, and if you press in quite hard, you can feel little notch, and there's one little notch for every one of your vertebrae as you go down. Really? So if you can so if you've actually got a bad back, you can count down, and you know which one it is. You can count down the number, or just do it roughly where it is. Mm-hmm. And then if you just move your thumb just gently into the bones there, that's helping your vertebrae along there. So if you've got problems on your left hand side, it'll be your left foot, and right hand side. Or if it's just in the middle, it'd be both of them. So that's your spine.
But also with the hips being open here, thank you, focusing on the lower lymphatic system. So at the moment there's a huge amount with Davina McCall, of course, on menopause, all things menopause, and opening the hips like this, or having your legs slightly up the wall of your hips like this, gets the blood back into the hip area. It's very good for the flow. So there's also things where you can slightly elevate the hips. And even though there's a perimenopause and menopause, I mean postmenopause is just, I think, it's just as important as well. But anyway, just and it's lower lymphatic area, so it's your immune system as well at the lower level. So just coming to enjoy massaging the feet. You can bring your feet nearer to the body, and that opens the stretch out more. Feet slightly further away, it lessens that. You can open your feet like a book, and that's also acceptable as a modification. Classic yoga is hands round like this, sitting up and bouncing your knees like a butterfly, which I find hard work. So there are lots of modifications with that. And then just very gently supporting under the legs to lift up, stretching out. Dandasana, so that's the equivalent of Tadasana. It's the equivalent, when you stand up straight into Tadasana, that's the base of all standing poses. Sitting like this is the basis of all seated poses, so your spine is straight. And you're almost taking weight off your spine by lifting up. But it's a very unnatural pose, I think, to hold. And then just relax your hands a little bit back. Classically, your fingers point forward, but you can have them to the side. Just lift at your chest. If you've got a bad neck, then just look forward. If not, then just subtly lift your chin, eyes go up. Becomes a mindfulness pose. It's uplifting at the heart. Becomes a back bend as well. So just moving the back through various movements that it needs for optimal health. And to come up, just bring your head upright. And then come to a comfortable seated position, cross-legged. You can sit on a bolster if you want to, have a blanket over you if you want to. And we're going to come to a moving meditation, so very simple. Hands, when you're ready, at the heart centre. Breathing in, just open your hands. Breathing out, hands come back to the heart, chin to chest. Just repeat this a few times into your own breath pattern. Breathing in, breathing out. We're coordinating movement with breath, so it comes back to that aspect of fluidity. Coming back to the heart is very much connecting to our emotions, also the sense of touch, the element of air, and the movement as the chin comes to the chest is calming for the nervous system. You don't have to open your hands very far. Your breath is coordinating with your movement, which connects into the nervous system. And then chin to chest. Take a moment to have a thought for the day. It could be for you or someone close to you. And have that thought a couple of times. Your intention for the day has been set. Now we come to some very finishing somatic movement. We've done this before. Just bring your hands to the sides of the head, thumbs behind. Chin is down slightly. This is also the opening sequence for Reiki, including self-healing for Reiki. So just holding the head between the hands is very soothing, or it can be. Back of the neck is extended, chin to chest again. Reiki, you'd stay here for about 5 minutes. And then it doesn't matter which hand, but one hand goes to the back of the head, your head's still down, and one hand goes to the forehead. And you can stay down, or you can bring your head up slightly, so that you're pressing your hands together. There's a slight pressure on your forehead or on the back of the head. And then you keep your hand on the forehead, and the hand at the back of the head, you drop to your chest. You'll find that you sit up a little bit more. And then the hand at the forehead, you drop to the navel. You'll find you're sitting up a little bit more. And then bring the hand at the navel to the heart. So both hands are at the heart, and come back to dropping the chin to the chest. Taking a bow now for yourself for the day ahead. And gently lift the head up, bring the palms together, and bring the thumbs to the forehead, kind thoughts. Bring the thumbs to the lips, kind words. And bring the hands back to the heart, kind deeds. Thank you for joining me.